Premier Card Grading, also known as PCG. Should you trust them? Should you not? I don't know. Let's open some stuff and talk about it. PCG! All right, so let's talk about PCG. We'll kind of go through my journey in card grading. We don't grade a whole lot. I just don't really feel the need to do it. I'm not really big on collecting. I kind of want to play with the cards that I have, but there are a few special instances that have led me to grading, and I just kind of want to talk about my experience with PCG and, you know, improvements of quality that we've seen. So first of all, this was the first box that I got from PCG. This was from the first Worlds. I got 2 cards graded on that day, and that was the box that it came in. Then we graded in New Zealand, and this was the box that it came in, so very much upgraded. Feels like a far more premium product. I know it's just the box, but it's nice to see that they're taking things seriously and really wanting to up the quality of something, even if it's just as simple as the box. And then let's see, this right here is a package that we will be opening for you guys live, and it looks like same box. So they have continued on. This was World Premiere New Zealand, and this was World Premiere of Tampa. So we'll go ahead and get that out. So these cards were graded with New Zealand company. This card was graded with the US company, and then this final one was graded with the US company. So I would love to say that everything has been perfect and there's been no quality issues, but obviously that's not the case. These are human beings and they're going to make some mistakes. But were those mistakes something that has turned me away from grading with them, or is it something we can overlook? And I will say that originally the company obviously had some issues with their US plant, and the quality control wasn't very good from what I'm told. And just like this, as you can see, there is some damage to the case. I don't know if that is normal, but just to note, there is a little bit of damage there. This has been inside of this sleeve, this foam sleeve, and inside of this box since I've owned it. So the damage definitely didn't come from me or any kind of handling. It looks like there is a spec in there that got sealed in the card. And the other card that we got graded was an Icelander. And that I don't have the card anymore. And this is after it got a special treatment. But we'll talk about that here in a minute. And this also, when I received it, was cracked. And there were some issues with that. But that being said, when I reached out, to PCG, they were more than happy and willing to correct any issues that I had. What did I do with that? Oh, it's still there. Okay, it's like got the blank Flesh and Blood card I need to do something with. Anyway, I reached out to Matt Rogers, and Matt Rogers took care of me. I handed him the Icelander at Pro Tour Baltimore. He took it all the way to New Zealand. They corrected the case for free and actually gave me something pretty friggin' cool. So what they ended up doing is with this Icelander was already a 10 from Worlds, as you can see. But what they did was, because they no longer did paper labels, and again, this was graded with US and now New Zealand is fixing it. But they no longer did paper labels, so they actually upgraded this. They had to create a world, what are these called? Top information sheet? I don't know, I can't think of a word to call this thing. But they didn't have paper anymore, so this, it may not be the only one now, but at its time, this was the only, 2022? This was the only 2022 Worlds graded with a metal, I don't know what that is, with a metal What is this thing? Anyway, it's the only one that was metal with Worlds 2022, and definitely the only Icelander that's Worlds and metal in 2022. Every other one from Worlds is in paper. So unless you get yours recased, you're gonna have paper, whereas this was the first and only at its time metal Worlds 2022 logo. So again, we had an issue, and Matt Rogers took care of it immediately. He made sure, he's like, hey, didn't really ask any questions. I said I received it cracked, and he was like, absolutely no problem. I'll take care of it. We'll get it fixed. And then he was like, hey, I've got a problem. We don't do paper anymore, so you're gonna have the one and only Metal Worlds 2022 label. I don't know why I couldn't think of a label. And so that was pretty cool, right? We had an issue. They went and took this card all the way from Baltimore to New Zealand and shipped it back without any cost to me to right, something that was wrong. So that is a very, very cool. So then we got something graded. By the way, I do this a lot, and now my kids do it without understanding what it means, which is very hilarious. So this was a card that I had altered by Ashley Helam over in New Zealand, and it's Goblins Visit Aotearoa, and this one is much cleaner. As you can see, this one was from New Zealand. I don't really see any damage to the case. A little bit of specking there. I'm not sure if that's normal. Again, I don't really deal with graded cards, but this is just my experience. Again, there was a small issue. As you can possibly see, it's Goblins Visit Aotearoa. And for some reason, they decided to put an apostrophe, which didn't belong. Now, it was very cool that they used the custom name of the card that was altered. They even put who drew the art on the back, which is really cool. So they did some really neat things, but there was an oversight, and this was a mistake. And so I wasn't sure if I wanted to do anything about it, but once again, this time at World Premiere for Rosetta, they said, this isn't a US problem, so unfortunately US can't fix it, but I have no problem taking this back to New Zealand and fixing it for you. So again, we had a very small issue, and they were willing to take care of it. I decided I didn't want to send it away to New Zealand because this is literally a one-of-a-kind card. There's no other card like this in the world. So I didn't want to risk it. But yeah, I came to them with a problem. They offered to fix it, and I just decided against it for now. But so there you go. Which leads us back to the US. So now we're back in the US, and we're at World Premiere Tampa, and we have decided to grade not one, but two Viserai. So this is very exciting, and let's just see, has the US quality improved, and what do the cards look like now? So, oh, wait a second. All right, hold on. Let me double check something. I'll be right back. All right, well, after checking the submission, no mistake of PCG, it's my fault. I was so excited to get these graded, I didn't realize apparently US is not doing player slabs, and I really wanted both of these to be player slabs, and they're obviously not. So that's on me for not realizing that. But I guess let's just take a look at the quality and see either way, I really want to play with these cards, and so I want them to be the player slab, which basically cuts this top piece off and just puts the label across the back. But that's not what they are. Oh, but this is pretty cool. I didn't know they were doing this. That is actually super neat. So while this is kind of like a fail, it's kind of a win at the same time. So we'll go ahead and we'll take a look first at this Viserai. This Viserai was part of a trade that I did with Saint Hung. He threw this in as a bonus. It was originally graded from BGS, and the label was crumpled inside. Like, they just did a terrible job of quality control on it. But he threw it in, and I was like, you know what, I'm just going to get it regraded PCG because they're the ones that support Flesh and Blood, and so those are the ones that I want to support. So there we go. I don't recall what the grade was. If I find it, I'll see if it came back the same. But I handed them a sealed BGS card, and they sent it back. The cool thing that I didn't realize was going to happen at this event, other than, you know, the player slab not being available, was it actually says World Premiere Tampa Bay 2024. That is super freaking cool. So while I was originally wanting a player slab, I actually accidentally got something super cool instead. So this is actually now, I probably will not player slab this one. I will probably leave this one as a token remembrance of the world premiere in Tampa Bay. So that is super cool. I did not know that they were doing that. I just knew that they were doing expedited grading. I didn't know that there was going to be a special label. So that is super cool. And I don't care about the grade. Honestly, that wasn't the point of sending this off. It was just to keep it protected because I love Viserai, and I just wanted him to be encased. And let's take a look. This case is pretty good. There's like a slight scratch here, but again, I don't know like what is reasonable and what's not when it comes to these. So you guys can tell me if you have experience grading, if that's something that should be there or not. But it feels very sturdy. The card's not moving around. You know, it's centered very well in the display itself. It looks great. It looks great. So there we go. This one I really wanted to be in a player slab. This one is our Viserai that we play. You know, if you might have seen it in the league that means nothing, we had to take 1 week off, and the 1 week we took off of Marvel, we lost. So clearly, I can only win if I have the Marvel. It came back a 9, 8.5, 8.5, 9.5. Again, I didn't really care about the grade. I just wanted to encase him and keep him safe. But this is my German Viserai. I actually picked this up. My wife bought it for me as a birthday present in Las Vegas at US Nats, and it currently has the world premiere Tampa Bay 2024. But I probably, when US gets player slabs, I probably will reslab him. I care less about the world premiere on this one because I want to play this card. So I prefer it to be in a more manageable player slab that I can keep with my deck and not have to worry about this extra. Like, you wouldn't think that this is a big deal, but this is a huge deal when it comes to managing your board state. You know, a card without this missing is way more manageable than this, you know, because it's so much more room when you're trying to have a combat chain and an arsenal and all of that. But not upset with the grades at all. My birthday is September 9th, so I currently have Viserai 9.9, which is perfect. It's absolutely perfect. So this case we'll go ahead and take a look at. A little bit of scratching there on the side, a little bit on the bottom, but again, I don't know what is supposed to be and what is not. I'm leaving that up to you guys to make your own decision on whether or not you feel that you should grade with them. But I will say that any time that I had an issue, you know, Matt Rogers with the New Zealand branch has been very, very helpful and accommodating. I haven't had any problems with the new US regime yet, so I don't know how they handle things. But I would assume, since, you know, they're tied to, you know, Matt Rogers' original business venture, that they would want to take care of their customers and do the same thing that he does. But yeah, that was just a quick unboxing of two just, oh, absolutely, like, these cards just mean so much as a huge Viserai fan. So yeah, maybe this one will like crack it, have Argyle sign it on the back and then regrade it in a player slab. I don't know. But this guy's probably gonna stay right here because of this world premiere. I really wanted this to be in a player slab so I could like have one, you know, show that I'm activating the ability with the other, but I think that the world premiere honestly is too cool to get rid of. So I'm probably gonna leave this guy, and then this guy will get a player slab eventually. But yeah, hopefully that was helpful to you guys. Hopefully it wasn't just a bunch of rambling from a guy that's passionate about cards. But if you haven't tried PCG, I definitely recommend it. They support Flesh and Blood. So if you're a Flesh and Blood player, I think it's important to support companies that support the game that we love. And you know, it's kind of where it was born. So thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.